Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So we're going to be discussing with you today in relation to Mauricio Pochettino, because he is still in the picture, is Mauricio Pochettino, to take the Manchester United job at the end of the season, of course, as well. And I do know, basically, that Manchester United, did officially say earlier on, this month that the Manchester United do reportedly want to name Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as permanent manager, before the end of the month, of course, as well. But it isn't still guaranteed that Solskjaer will land the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis, because we know for a long time, that Ed Woodward's number one has obviously, been Mauricio Pochettino, of course, as well. So Man United could still, turn their intentions, of going, for Mauricio Pochettino, because maybe some Manchester United fans feel as though that, Solskjaer may not be good enough, to take this Manchester United job on a full-time basis, of course, because he's in the process of rebuilding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer, of course, as well, because we know that investment is needed into Manchester United for, to potentially, get us to be title contenders for the new season as well. And we do want to be a competitive elite level football club again as well. But you've got to praise what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done so far. We know that he's done a really good job, and I think he's still going to have his say on our transfer plans in the summer. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, he's been in discussions with the Manchester United board, of what players, should leave in the summer as well. And I think, he's demanding that he wants around 4 signings this summer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think he's demanding that he wants around 4 signings this summer. I think he's allegedly identified, the areas, where he does want to strengthen up as well. But I think one of his priorities, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is to strengthen that right wing position. So I think Solskjaer wants to recommend a right winger to come to Manchester United this summer as well. This is what he's recommending. I think it's Man United's priority. I think it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority as well. And we definitely need a centre back. But I think Solskjaer recently said that he's not interested in buying defenders this summer, of course, because he wants to give our current defenders, a chance to impress and prove themselves, of course, as well. And reportedly, we are going to get around £200 million spent in the summer. There's still some contract renewals to sort out as well. And of course, we do expect departures this summer, of course, as well. But so far, Solskjaer's done a really good job, and I still probably think that he will end up getting the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis. Of course, maybe, after the international break, we've got to get prepared, and we've got to get back to winning ways, of course, because we have now suffered back-to-back defeats, for the first time under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vein as well. So we have to, get back to winning ways after the international break. If we go winless after the international breaks as the next 2 to 3 games, then questions will be asked, of course, as well. And we know mainly Solskjaer doesn't have a great managerial pedigree at the moment, of course, as well, in terms of like winning any major honours, of course, as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So maybe some people may say we need to try and get a manager that can take this team on full time, maybe a manager that's got more experience than Solskjaer, like who's won a lot of major honours and all that, and who's got a good pedigree and all that, and he's obviously got more managerial experience, to be quite honest with you. But I still think Solskjaer is the right man for Manchester United, of course, as well. But as I thought, he was a very good player, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't get me wrong, he won a lot of trophies, scored loads and loads of goals for 11 years with Manchester United under Alex Ferguson as well. But he hasn't really proven himself as yet in terms of a manager. But we've had a great 3 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. But you can see the vast improvements since he's come in, and he has restored Alex Ferguson's spirit. He's got this team playing with tenacity and the right spirit and all that as well. And he's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But now we've suffered back-to-back defeats. We've got to get prepared, of course, as well, for the Watford game after the international break. And he has done well, Solskjaer, and Manchester United, to say, the string of injuries Manchester United have had, we've done really well, considering, that we didn't invest in the January transfer window as well. And when Solskjaer came in, Manchester United, were 11 points, behind top 4 there, don't forget, as well. So we've done really well in that aspect. And, we're still in, the race for the top 4. There's quite a few teams going for that top 4, but it is essential that we do get that top 4 if we don't win the Champions League, so we can get into Champions League football next season. I don't see us winning the Champions League, to be quite honest with you guys, but you never know in football. And I think, the best chance we had was obviously, winning the FA Cup. I think that was our best chance of silverware this season, and of course, we have blown that as well. So, Anyway, guys, so there's still talks going on about Mauricio Pochettino, as I currently said, and that he's still in the pictures, Mauricio Pochettino, to possibly come to Manchester United at the end of the season, of course, as well. But in my opinion, he's no intentions of leaving Tottenham. Mauricio Pochettino again hasn't got a great pedigree in terms of winning any silverware because he hasn't won any silverware. Mauricio Pochettino as manager, of course, he is well Premier League proven, of course, and he is good at growing and developing young players. But Pochettino doesn't know about Manchester United. He doesn't know about the club, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows everything about the club, of course, as well. But Mauricio Pochettino, and obviously as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be a much cheaper alternative, to give him the job on a full-time basis. That would cost us around £7-8 million. We'll pay a compensation package to Mould as well. But if we were to turn our intentions of getting Pochettino in, that would cost us around £35-40 million. We'd have to pay that compensation, to get obviously Mauricio Pochettino in as well. And that's quite a bit of money, to be quite honest with you. And obviously he's in work there. It's gone off. Yeah, back on. This is his 5th season now with Tottenham. Of course, they have spent quite a bit of money. I think they've spent around... how much have they spent now? Is it around £254 million they've spent, since 2014, since Pochettino got recommended in as well. But he's done well with them. He's progressed them to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season so far. Progressed them to the last 16 last season. Got them second place finishes, got them third place finishes and all that as well. And he's done really well as Pochettino. And, he was really good when he was at Southampton. I know he had a short tenure with Southampton, but he did really well with Southampton. Obviously began his managerial career, with Espanyol. So he has been managing 10 years now because he started managing in 2009 as well, did Pochettino. And of course, Manchester United, I think, are still maybe interested in hiring Pochettino in of course, as well. But I don't think we need Pochettino to quality because he doesn't know nothing about the club. I know he's well Premier League proven and all that as well. But I would trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, with this money we're going to get in the summer to spend as well. So if things are to go downhill and we don't beat Watford after the international break and we don't beat Wolves in the league away from home, then questions will start to be asked, and I think we'll definitely turn our intentions more on Mauricio Pochettino, of course, as well. But I don't think he'll leave anywhere, Pochettino. I think he's really settled in at Tottenham. Besides the point, I don't think Daniel Levy, will let Pochettino leave anywhere. And obviously, Pochettino at some point, in his managerial career, wants to prove himself. He wants to win trophies and all that does Pochettino. But Danny Levy's obviously, this summer has got to let, Pochettino, spend some money in that Tottenham team because I think Tottenham, still do currently need signings, to be quite honest with you as well. But there is quite a few teams going for that top 4. So I think Pochettino still remains the favourite at the moment, even though there has been a lot of talks going on that Man United have been in contract negotiations, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Reports coming out saying that Manchester United have to pay a compensation package of around £7-8 million, of course, to Mould, to get him on a full-time base, because initially, at the moment, we've paid £1.8 million to get Solskjaer on a temporary base, of course, as well. It did reportedly say, the Mirror reported a couple of weeks back, that reportedly his contract will be a 4-year contract with around £30 million, plus bonuses involved as well, and it did say his annual salary will be £7.5 million a year, so that's obviously, he's happy to accept a lower wage package than what currently Mourinho was on, because Jose Mourinho, of course, was on £15 million a year as well, of course, as well. So Solskjaer is happy about that as well, and I think the contract term is going to be a 4-year deal, as it does currently explain as well, and his annual is £7.5 million. So it's still not guaranteed that Solskjaer will get the job as Manchester United manager on a full-time base, but I think he's done more than enough, to get the job, to quite honest with you, making history in the Premier League as manager for Manchester United now, also one of his most iconic moments of the club's history in the Champions League as well, against PSG, away from home, we've been fantastic as well, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, and the performances have really improved. We've been getting positive results, as I said, and I think all the players have been their form has been rejuvenated fantastically well as well. But we know that we've lost our last 2 games now, as I said, so obviously we've got to step it up after the international break, of course, as well, because as I did currently say, Wolves was very disappointing, to be quite honest with you. And initially, that was our best team, that Manchester United, when we saw Herrera coming to the team, he just had a hamstring injury, we saw Lingard coming to the team, just had a hamstring injury as well. And I don't think one player, put a good performance out for Manchester United against Wolves. It was a very poor performance, We obtained a lot of the possession in the game, don't get me wrong. I think we did have a couple of chances, but I think we only had one shot on target all the game. But Wolves played really well, they came with a game plan, that game plan worked out, parking the bus, hitting us on the counter-attack. They exploited that very, very well. I think they exploited them wide positions fantastically well. Wolves, I thought Manchester United, were struggling to break Wolves down, really couldn't operate any space, to be quite honest. And I just think the movement, we were lacking that movement. We was too slow on the ball. I don't think we was quick enough. We weren't getting that rhythm. As I said Rashford wasn't getting the support up front from Anthony Martial and Jesse Lingard, as we all know. And I don't think we got Martial and Lingard enough in the game, to give Rashford that support, down the middle, to be quite honest. Because we know Rashford's a very, very good player, as we all know as well. And, he's still very, very young. He's grown, developed and flourished fantastically well. And his performances have really, really improved, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, Marcus Rashford as well. And he's been playing more of a key role in the team as well. But since he sustained that ankle injury against Liverpool, obviously he's recovered from it now. But since he's recovered from that ankle injury, I don't think he's been his potential best, because we know he's usually like lightning. His pace is good. He can get them runs in behind him and all that as well, Marcus Rashford. And I always said he looks very, very effective centrally, but I just don't think he was getting enough support from the likes of Lingard and Martial, because I thought Lingard wasn't that good. I thought Martial, was poor as well on the left-hand side. Matic, very, very ineffective in that midfield, and I thought he was very, very slow in the midfield. Herrera wasn't good again. He didn't play to his potential best under Herrera as well. I don't think Pogba was effective enough, to be quite honest, so I don't think Pogba had a good game as well. And I thought defensively, we were quite poor of them as well. So I thought it was a very, very bad performance from Manchester United. And I think that's the worst performance so far under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vein, as I said. And I think Solskjaer wasn't, he wasn't happy, of course. He was unhappy, with the attack and the link-up play, because the link-up play, was a very, very poor of them indeed as well. I think we were lacking in them in that final third. And I thought we were very, very ineffective in that final third. So we were very, very poor in that scenario as well. And it was a very, very poor performance from Manchester United. We did deserve to lose the game. I always said it was going to be a difficult game, because Wolves have been in good form this season. Nuno Santo's done a good job, and they're sitting 7th in the Premier League, of course, as well. Now they've progressed to the FA Cup semi-final for the first time since 1997 and 1998, of course, as well. So that's like 21, 22 years ago, or something like that as well. But Wolves are playing really, really well. So I did say it wasn't going to be an easy time. The record against big teams this season's been very, very impressive indeed as well. I just thought the likes of Diego Jota and Raul Jimenez, absolutely ripped us apart, to be quite honest with you, because Wolves played very, very well indeed. And, I thought Romero had a good game, he made some vital saves in the game as well, did Sergio Romero, and it could have been more than 2-1 to Wolves, if them chances would have gone in as well, because I think they did have at least 3 big chances without scoring, did Wolves in the game as well. So we do forget about, as I did say, we move on to the Watford game at Old Trafford. Obviously, we've got the international break now, that's 12 days time is the Watford game as well. That's at Old Trafford, and that's a game, we should be winning. Obviously, then 3 days later, we go to Wolves at Molineux in the league, of course. Then we've got, obviously, the first leg against Barcelona in the quarter-final as well, which we do know is going to be an extremely difficult game, as I currently said. One good positive about that is, obviously, when we do go to Nou Camp in the second leg, it will bring back, memories, it will bring memory for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well, because obviously in 1999 he scored at the Nou Camp League final against Munich, so win the treble that year as 20 years ago. He still could possibly, maybe come to Manchester United, but I think Tottenham are ruthless to let him go. And I think from Pochettino's perspective anyway, I think he's happy at Tottenham. He's got a pretty decent squad as Pochettino. Tottenham still definitely need investment this summer, but I still think they actually wait for the new stadium out the Tottenham, to be quite honest with you. They actually haven't got their new stadium yet, Tottenham. I thought they'd been getting it sometime this year. It probably will be sometime this year, that Tottenham will be getting it as well. So yeah, that's the latest news update on that. So Pochettino, I think, still remains a slight favourite ahead of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. So that's the latest news to update you on that as well. We'll give you some updates on a bit of transfer rumours as well, as I've been updating you on a regular basis, of course, as well. So we do basically know that Solskjaer's interested in bringing the right winner to Manchester United this summer. As I did say, he wants around 4 signings this summer, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he has currently explained. So reportedly, Jadon Sancho has been a Manchester United target, as we all know. And we know a narrative's been going on about, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, as we all know. Reports have been coming out saying that Manchester United are prepared to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho. So this means this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever, of course, as well, if we could come to an agreement to get him. But I think Borussia Dortmund are being ruthless and they're standing firm, and I don't think they're willing to do any business, to be quite honest with you, Borussia Dortmund, regardless of what Manchester United offer, of course, as well. I think he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams, to be quite honest with you, as Jadon Sancho as well. He's still under contract with Dortmund till 2022, as we all know, as well. And he's a really, really good player. And he only broke into the England first team last year, of course, as well. He's mainly, when he shows that ability to attack, play balls, score goals. So I think he's a solution, for Manchester United's problems, to be quite honest with you, is Jadon Sancho. And we can make him the most expensive English footballer ever if we can come to an agreement to get him this summer. And we can also make him our most expensive signing, of course, as well. If he was to come in, and he's only 18 years of age, as Jadon Sancho. He has been at Borussia Dortmund now a couple of years. Obviously, when he was at Manchester City, he served a couple of years with City. So in that aspect, he's had some experience, of playing in English football and in the with Manchester City as well. And at that point, we were linked with him a couple of years ago, Jadon Sancho as well. But he never broke into the first team with Manchester City, and this is the main reason, why he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course, as well. But yeah, it did say Man United had paid to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund paid an initial £7-8 million for him, as we all know, from Manchester City, of course, as well. So financially, Borussia Dortmund, would make a huge profit on Sancho. But I think, the Borussia Dortmund director came out saying that he's convinced that Jadon Sancho will remain at Borussia Dortmund next season, of course, as well. So reportedly, a lot of people say Man United can't afford to buy him anywhere because £100 million is a lot of money, especially for a young 18-year-old. But we have got the financial power to meet that valuation because we didn't spend any money in the January window. And obviously, Solskjaer wants to bring a winner to Manchester United, and of course, Jadon Sancho is a winner. So I do think he'd complement our team very, very well, would Sancho, and I think he'd do very, very well indeed, Sancho. Because he's done really, really well with Borussia Dortmund. He's got immense talent, as we all know as well. But he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams. Is this Jadon Sancho as well? And this season, he's been in really, really good form for Borussia Dortmund. So I think Manchester United, I've identified him actually as a #1 target for the summer as well. And other players, that Manchester United, of course, have been interested in as well. And we do know that there's been, that we've been interested in that Joe Felix as well, that Benfica youngster, only 19 years of age, of course. Very, very young, of course, as well. I think initially he's got a buyout clause of around £105-106 million as Joe Felix, if I'm right. Because obviously there was a narrative going on about it back in the January transfer window that reportedly, a few teams had expressed their interest in Joe Felix. His buyout clause is around 100 or £105 million, as something like that as well. He's mainly a winner, but he can play in other positions as well. He only broke into the Benfica first team last year as well, to this Joe Felix, but reportedly since he's broke into the first team, his performances have been very, very good indeed, and he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, because he is Portuguese. He's only 19 years of age, this Benfica youngster as well. But Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on him as well, because his performances have been impressive, and scouts have been, monitoring him quite regularly, to be quite honest with you as well. But Man United have held talks, with Benfica over this. I think Chelsea have also been interested. Recent reports do suggest that Joe Felix is actually, happier with Benfica as well. So he's been another potential Manchester United target. We know the rumours do continue to persist about Gareth Bale as well, as I do keep updating you on that as well. We do know that the rumours do continue to persist about Gareth Bale. I don't think he's a Manchester United priority target, but the rumours do continue to persist, with him being linked with a move to Old Trafford this summer, of course, as well. Because obviously now, either way, I think Real Madrid want to sell him this summer, because I think Florentino Perez, has actually, had enough of Gareth Bale, to be quite honest, and I think he wants him out of Real Madrid this summer, of course, as well. But yeah, there's been a lot of rumours going on about it, and according to Dan Ballon, recent reports did suggest, that Bale was happy in Spain. He had no intentions of leaving, Real Madrid, to be quite honest with you. But as I did say, Solskjaer thinks, we should be, Solskjaer thinks, we should be, going for the quality players, of course, as well. And Bale is a really, really good player, to be quite honest with you. But as I always do keep saying, I wouldn't want him at Manchester United. But I do think he'll leave this summer, Gareth Bale, because obviously now Zinedine Zidane's been reappointed. And obviously Zinedine Zidane and Bale have a bad relationship, as we all currently know. And obviously now Bale's Real Madrid future now is in serious jeopardy, of course, as well. So he could possibly, make a return back to the Premier League, of course, as well. But, I know that he's still been been linked to a move to Man United. You know, the rumours have been going on about it since like 2013. You know, that he's been linked to a move to Old Trafford as well. But for me, he's too old now. He's aging up. He's nearly 30 years of age. He's Gareth Bale. He's 29 at the moment, but he's nearly 30 years of age. Of course, he's on £650,000 a week as well. You know, that's absolutely substantial wages. You know, it will be hard, for teams to get the pursuit of Gareth Bale if he's on £650,000 a week. So this potentially means he's the highest paid player in world football. It must do something like that as well. Of course, he's got a record of injuries as well, so he is injury prone as well as Gareth Bale. But to be fair, his ratio is still very, very good. He has scored a lot of goals for Real Madrid as Bale, of course, but he is aging up and he's injury prone and all that as well. And obviously, all the silverware he's won has obviously come at Real Madrid. You know, this is his sixth season now with Real Madrid, of course, as well as Gareth Bale's. And I think it'll be hard. You know, Real Madrid won't, they won't recruit Real Madrid. You know, the initial £86 million, you know, they paid for him from Tottenham 6 years ago, back in 2013. Maybe Real Madrid could still get maybe £55-60 million for Bale, but they won't get 85 or £86 million for him as well in the process. You know, when he was younger, he's Premier League proven, because, you know, remember when he had 6 good years with Tottenham, you know, Gareth Bale, you know, he actually began his career with Southampton as well, did Gareth Bale, as we all currently know. So rumours do continue to persist, you know, been going on about, you know, Icardi has come into Milan, you know, that striker who Manchester United, he's been a potential Manchester United target reportedly as well as Icardi. And to be quite fair, I do really like Icardi, you know, to be quite honest. I think he's a really good player. I think Inter Milan now, as reports do say, that reportedly they are prepared to cash in for Icardi this summer, reportedly as well. After I think Inter Milan have increasingly, you know, become frustrated with Icardi. He's not too long ago just lost the captain's armband as well for Inter Milan, Icardi as well. Icardi's a very good player. As I did say, I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest, but I know he's very good box to box. He's a good efficient finisher. He's a prolific goal scorer as well as Icardi. I think he's got a release clause of around £100 million as Icardi, but I think Inter Milan are willing to offload him, as it does say in the Daily Mail, for around £68 million, something like that as well. But I think he'd be a good addition, you know, into the Manchester United team. You know, if he could come, you know, to Manchester United in the summer as well, Icardi. There was a narrative going on the other week about, you know, Lukaku and Icardi as a potential swap deal as well, because reports have been coming out saying that Inter Milan have actually, have been interested in Romelu Lukaku, and they're interested in replacing Icardi, you know, for Romelu Lukaku as well, Inter Milan reportedly as well. But I think if Man United do decide to sell Lukaku in the summer, you know, he's pinpointed that he does want to make the move to Juventus as well. But Icardi, as I currently said, I do really like him, you know, to be quite honest. He's a really good player. You know, he's well. He scored has obviously come is Icardi, as we all know. Of course, he's Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time as well. Of course, he's been nominated top scorer quite a few times as well as Icardi as well. But he's a really good player indeed. And this is his 6th season now, you know, with Inter Milan. So he's grown, developed, and flourished fantastically well under Lucius Spelter, you know, especially as well. But I think Inter Milan, you know, are prepared to cash in for him this summer as well. And it says he's been a Manchester United target, of course. As well, but Lukaku, as I did say, you know, I don't know if Man United are going to sell him in the summer, you know, to Cornish. I know that there has been rumours going on about that Manchester United, you know, may decide to sell Lukaku in the summer. Of course, we'll try to recoup the initial £75 million, you know, we did pay for him from Everton. But as I did say, you know, he's obviously injured at the moment, but obviously most recently he has regained his positioning in the team, because overall, you know, mainly he lost his place in the team, and obviously we know mainly that Rashford was first choice over Romelu Lukaku, but most recently he's regained his position in the team, and I did say he's been in really good form, and I think, you know, he looks very effective, you know, Lukaku, you know, and of course he's getting that support up front, you know, to be quite honest with you, because obviously he's more reliable when he's getting that support up front, Lukaku, and I think he performs better when someone's, you know, playing alongside him, you know, to be quite honest with you. But as I did currently say, there were talks that Manchester United, you know, could still sell him in the summer. And overall, his pedigree, you know, is very good in the Premier League. He's Romelu Lukaku's, as I said. Obviously, I thought he was a miss for the Wolves game as well. Obviously, he's got an ankle injury, as we all know. He's been assessed. He did get sent for the scan, Lukaku, as I said. So hopefully, his injury is not too severe as well. And he has sustained quite a few injuries, you know, as a Manchester United player, you know, as a Romelu Lukaku as well. So he has currently sustained got an ankle injury, and he actually suffered against PSG as well, you know, did Romelu Lukaku. So yeah, I just wanted to update you on, you know, I think that Pochettinho's still the favourite, and keeping you up to date about all the transfer rumours that are going on as well. But as I did currently say, players I do expect to leave Manchester United in the summer, as I've said. Sanchez will leave Manchester United, in the summer, without a shadow of a doubt. Sanchez will leave this summer, of course. Recent reports have just said that Juventus, are interested. Juventus may plot an escape route, for Alexis Sanchez, of course. Maybe, we may have to come to some kind of agreement, because obviously a lot of teams won't be able to afford his current wages, Alexis Sanchez, because obviously he's on over £500,000 a week, don't forget as well, is Alexis Sanchez, and obviously maybe Manchester United may have to consider, getting Alexis Sanchez out on loan, of course, as well, considering, the amount of wages he's on at Manchester United, of course, as well. Obviously the highest paid player, at Manchester United as well, but he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, because when he has had the opportunity, and when he has been given the opportunity to play, he's looked really restricted, he just looked as though he hasn't been getting that freedom, and he hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system at all, he's sustained quite a few injuries as well as Alexis Sanchez, he's got a knee injury now, and he's obviously out for he's out for an initial 4 to 6 weeks as well, and he's age 30, and he has lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Sanchez as well. So Sanchez is on his way out of Manchester United, of course, as well, unless, there's some kind of agreement that he'll take a wage cut or something like that, Alexis Sanchez, because a lot of teams won't be able to afford his £500,000 a week wages, of course, as well. So he's a player that's going to leave Manchester United. Valencia's on his way out of Manchester United, of course, as we all know, as well, because we opted against that decision, to give him that new 1-year extension. And of course, it's also said that Arsenal have actually, been interested in Antonio Valencia as well. But as I did say, this is his 10th season at Manchester United. Over the years, he has been essential, but he's going in the summer. I think Darmian's going for Manchester United as well. I think Darmian's definitely on his way out as well, because he's enjoyed a difficult time at Manchester United as well, as Matteo Darmian. So yeah, players will definitely, leave Manchester United. As I did say, we've been hearing the rumours now, obviously, that Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed Real Madrid manager, as we all currently know. So this is his second spell now in charge of Real Madrid, of course, after, in May of last year, he stepped down, so then bit of Real Madrid manager, then obviously he was managerless for 10 months, and now he's walked back into the Real Madrid job again. And obviously Zinedine Zidane's obviously, planning for the summer, of course, as well. He obviously wants investment in that. He wants investment, does Zinedine Zidane this summer as well. I think he's going to get around a £300 million spending spree, is Zinedine Zidane. But reportedly there's been talks going on about David De Gea, that Zinedine Zidane reportedly admires David De Gea. Reportedly Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea, of course, as well. Because if obviously, Real Madrid were on the brink of getting David De Gea, 4 years ago, as we all currently know, but it never come to an agreement. Something to do with a fax machine, something like that as well. And in the process, Manchester United are still in contract talks, are still in talks over a new £350,000 a week deal, for David De Gea. So I think Manchester United do want to get him a new contract. I think Solskjaer does hope that, David De Gea signs a new contract as well with Manchester United, of course, because over the years he has been very, very essential, and we do know that he's potentially, the best goalkeeper in the world, is David De Gea as well. But I think recent reports did say that David De Gea was demanding, he wanted around £400,000 a week at one point, and he was demanding that he wanted to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United as well. But reports were suggested out saying that Manchester United weren't willing to meet what David De Gea was demanding, of course, as well. And I think this is what is now his 7th, 8th season now at Manchester United. So he's had a long tenure here, is David De Gea, and he's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. He's got 100 Premier League clean sheets now, which is very, very good. Of course, he's won everything here domestically as well, in English football, especially as David De Gea as well. But Real Madrid have been long admirers of David De Gea, and it probably will cost Real Madrid in the region of around £75 million, to get him, of course. But he's won the Club's Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons as well. But as we all currently know, he's still here at least until the summer of 2020, of course, because obviously last year we activated a 12-month extension, of course, last year as well. So he's still in the contract here at least until 2020. And I think he's happy here, De Gea. He wants to commit his long-term future with Manchester United, of course, as well. But Real Madrid have there wasn't interested, for quite a while, because the rumours had died down, of course, and all that, because obviously Real Madrid did get Courtois last summer, but now Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed. He's obviously identified a few targets as Zinedine Zidane who he would like to get to Real Madrid, and obviously one of them has been David De Gea, of course, as well. So now Real Madrid are reportedly set to revive their interest in him as well. As I did currently say, yeah, so I think the majority of the players have really improved since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. I'll still back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's totally blameless in this scenario, you know, with them back-to-back defeats, you know, we've suffered, as I said. You know, you can't win every game, and that's just football, I'm afraid, you know, to quite honest. Yeah, we didn't deserve to win in the Wolves game. We were very poor. Wolves were the much better team, and we've got to accept it, and we've got to bounce back after the international break, because if we go winless in his next 2 games after the international break, or 3 games, that's when questions will be asked, you know, to be quite honest here. And then obviously Man United then further down the line will maybe looking at another manager, you know, to come in at the end of the season, of course. But I still believe that Solskjaer will get the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis. Of course, it isn't guaranteed. Reports obviously after the PSG game and all that saying, yeah, Solskjaer's done enough to get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. Man United sorting his contract out and all that as well. But I think, you know, if he does get the job, it will be a 4-year contract. He does sign Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But Pochettino, the rumours haven't gone away. He's still in the picture. Is Pochettino as well. So I think he's still the favourite. Is Mauricio Pochettino of course as well. And I think at one point Real Madrid were interested in hiring Pochettino in, but obviously now they've got Zinedine Zidane back as well. But Pochettino won't leave Tottenham anywhere. As I did currently say as well. So anyway, guys, as I did currently say, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribing to the channel, as always, and take care. God bless.